So a couple of years ago I bought myself a set of these really nice fail intermediate size carving chisels, and I haven't done a ton of carving. What I've done I really enjoyed. That's a skill that I want to develop further, but I realized I wanted to go get some larger tools than these, but I didn't want to sort of spend what it costs to buy these tools new. So I started to spend some time on eBay, and I took the recommendations of Mary May for starting carving chisel set. and I bought a couple of individual chisels, and then I bought lots of chisels, hoping to find some users in there as well. So I have this preliminary set here. I got to put a fair amount of work into restoring them. Most of these are pretty high quality, steel, etc. I'm gonna have to redo some of the handles. A couple of them are clearly crap and probably aren't gonna be worth much. However, in the meantime, until I get the opportunity to work on that, they're just sort of laying around in the way. I don't want to damage them. So I'm going to build a storage rack very similar to this. So on the top of my tool chest that I built, I have room that I can fit 2 of these deep. I have about 4 inches in depth. So I'm just going to follow basically this exact style. This is just a quick and dirty project. I'm going to just knock this out quick. This is pretty, I like the way this is made. It's a 1/2 inch or just a little bit less plywood. These are hardwood, and there's just a little notch and a dado down inside there. So it doesn't have to be super crazy strong. I'm gonna sort of take these dimensions and expand them a little bit to give myself a little bit more room, but this is just sort of a one-day project. Let's knock this out and make something useful. So this is the top of my hand tool cabinet. So this is where I currently keep. Alright, so I was able to get both of these guys out of scrap, which I always like. So I'm doing very, very little measuring here. This guy's just going to sit flush on the bottom. I'm not going to swap out for a rip blade. I'm just going to keep my combination blade in here. So I'm just marking the top edge. I'm going to carry that down there, and I'm just going to rip a groove like so. Then I'm taking one of these guys just for approximate measurement. Figure that'll go maybe halfway in. And I'm going to want this guy here. Again, approximate. None of this is really critical. Okay, so I've marked on there, and I'm going to go on this side. Going to go on this side. I'm going to drop the blade to approximately half of the depth. I'm going to line this up, make that first cut, adjust, make the second one, and then I'm going to cut these guys so that we leave just a little protrusion down there that'll slide down in there. So it's not going to add a ton of strength. I don't think it needs it, but it's a nice little feature. It certainly doesn't hurt to add that. Okay, no fancy figuring and math here. I'm just going to use my square to pull that depth. So that's the depth of the groove. That's what I got to leave behind. So this guy is going to be about 1/8 of an inch wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the fence here. Looking at the blade. Okay, so that's pretty darn close, but I'm just going to finesse it a little bit with a shoulder plane. Just using that combination blade, you don't get a super flat top. Again, I think this is probably pretty significant overkill for this project, but it's certainly not going to hurt, and it's kind of fun. So. Alright, now it's a little too long. I'm just going to take a whisker off of it, get that to seat down flush, confirm this guy. Ooh, that one's like a glove. Love that fit. So get a block plane real quick. This is not the ideal planing setup here, but what I'm trying to accomplish, it's good enough. It's clearly against the grain. Much better. Alright, that's now seating just about flat and flush. So those will glue up and be strong as hell. So next step is to mark them. So with a Forstner bit, I'm going to put openings in the bottom here where the tips go. And then here I'm going to figure out what size holes to drill for the shafts of the handles to go through. Okay, time to glue this guy up. I'm going to do all the sanding afterwards. It's not a fancy furniture project, so nothing crazy. Yep, miss. So here's my carving gouge rack completed. So I put just 2 coats of shellac. It doesn't need a ton of protection, but certainly makes it much nicer on the feel. And look, see, very, very similar to my old one from my little baby gouges. I still have to restore all of these guys, but in the meantime, instead of having them rolling around on my benches, getting in the way and potentially getting damaged, I can at least get them stored in here. And they'll be safe and as needed out of the way until I get a chance to go through and do the work of restoring them. So, quickie project, helpful, useful project. It's going to help clean up the shop and protect these tools, so I like it.